It may be my last pumpkin for the summer. Seems to be being pollinated as we speak, but it may be dropped. Seems to be a racer, but we'll see. Oh, there's another one right there too. But usually it'll drop the smaller one. So we have reached the end of the season. Here's the pumpkin that was growing on the sidewalk. There we go. And there's another little one out in the middle of the garden here. And one over there that actually grew long. So I'm going to check which vine it's on. It may be on the freak vine because it's the only long pumpkin rather than round that I got this year. Where is that thing? It's not showing up. Is that it? Yeah, that's a long pumpkin. There we go. Kind of small. It might be on the freak vine, but we'll see. And here is another one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. Well, we won't count that one as being pollinated yet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's a big racer. Oh, that's gonna be a gift to somebody because that's a good size. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's it. There's nothing else really going on out here. Powdery mildew is taking over. I'm going to let it at this point because the fact that it waited till the last few days of August to take over is pretty remarkable. And remember that freak pumpkin I showed you last week? And I said it would drop? It sure enough did, and now the vine's dying. So that, whatever that vine was, it was completely useless. I'm going to be buying seeds from vendors who I know their names from here on out because that came in a packet of Cronus pumpkins, this one here. And it was obviously not a Cronus. I'm wondering if it was even a pumpkin. I mean, look at those seeds and those leaves. They don't look pumpkin-y at all. And this is the sunflower. Boy, I've still got this on close-up, don't I? This is the sunflower that came up on its own and got eaten. And now it's sent up 4 sunflowers, so hopefully one will open. We'll see what it looks like. As for the mammoth, Russian mammoths, they're all past it now. They're drying. I'm waiting for the backs of them to turn a little brown or yellow. And then I'm going to cut them off. I'm going to leave a few for the birds, but I'm going to cut the rest off and try baking the seeds. I came across a recipe on YouTube for that. As I said, the corn was a total joke this year. And in my plans for next year's garden, I don't even know if I'm going to try corn. I was going to grow the container corn, but I don't know. At this point, just don't have a lot of luck with it. Whatever this is, going bye-bye. There we go. There's that long pumpkin over there. Let's see if we can zoom in. But my plans for next year are a 3rd generation member of the Racer family called Rival, which is bigger than Racer 2 or Racer Plus. Definitely bigger than Racer. And a little more powdery mildew resistant. So that'll be in the main garden. And because this tree, I don't know if you remember what it looked like before, but let me try to get a long shot here. Yeah, before you couldn't see across the street under the tree, and the tree was up over the electric wires. Well, the electric company came out and took care of the problem on top, wouldn't take care of the problem on bottom. My neighbors wanted, they're still going to pick up these branches down here. they wanted the wood for their fall bonfires, so they came over and cut off the lower branches. So I have a lot more sunlight now. So I'm going to expand the garden. It's going to be expanded maybe 3 feet north. And I'm going to, actually that'll be a net gain of 2 feet because I'm going to move it in away from the sidewalk a bit, about maybe 6 inches or a foot. So, but maybe 2 feet north. And then I'm going to start, I was just going to expand it west in this area here, but then I realized if I do that, it's going to be really hard to get into the yard. I still might do that though, I'm not sure. But I'm going to have to think about that. But there's going to be another garden in this area where the tree was shading before. And that's going to be giant pumpkins. That's going to be big moose. And I'm going to discipline myself next year. Everything that comes up on its own in the spring, all the pumpkin vines that come up on their own, excuse me, I can't talk today, are going to be taken out. I am going to plant a few seeds from that large racer that I got that I'm giving away some seeds from, but they'll be down on that end towards the tomatoes and the potatoes and the carrots and all those things. So just a few of those and about 5 rivals in here. Still a lot of vines, but not the high 20s of vines that we had this year. That was ridiculous. And over here on the west, maybe 2 big moose vines. Big moose is going to be the giant pumpkin. Okay, our butternut squash. I still don't see any squash. And it's really run out of time, but I'm just going to let it do what it's going to do. So, I don't know if I'll grow it next year. Maybe I will. Excuse me. The other thing I may do, just to keep this section all rival pumpkins, and maybe I'll plant, I have this other spare yard here. I can plant a racer or 2 over here. But somebody posted to our Backyard Pumpkin Growers Society group that they are growing a pumpkin that only has a 4-foot vine. And I'm thinking of putting them in here. And then the racers down here. This wooden thing, as you see, is pretty badly rotted, and it's going to have to come down next spring because it's kind of dangerous at this point. So this is going to move up on the patio. Excuse me. And maybe I'll have a bed right along here and this area here, and that's where the racers will be, and they can crawl out over the grass. So lots to think about, but 3 varieties of pumpkins next year and more discipline as to growing them. Not so many volunteer vines, because that didn't do us any good. So we've got, what was it again? 1, 2, 3, 4 pumpkins, 5 pumpkins out here. And in the garage, we've got, turn on the light. Okay. Okay. I think I just turned the garage door opener off. How about the light? There we go. And yeah, it's a mess in here, so calm down. 1, 2, 3. Let's see, 4, 5, 6. There's the giant. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So, did I say 5 in the garden? Or 4 in the garden? We'll just make it 20 and plus 3. So 23 pumpkins Yeah, 23 pumpkins out of almost 30 vines, and most of them are small. So that's the price of growing all the volunteers that come up. So anyway, that's it for this week, and I'll see you next week.